Memoirs of an Englishman. Written and read by Ken Moss. A series of improbable, illogical events. I wish I'd told more people to fuck off. The world in the 21st century wants your attention constantly, like a needy toddler or a wet dog, and almost none of it is either interesting or asked for. The vast majority of people appear on the face of it to be far more transmit than receive, and earlier this year I realised I'd had just about enough of the tidal wave of nonsense that I have to deal with every day. What I refer to as my nega drive, the hard disk partition in your brain that absorbs negativity and files it away, finally sent a message to my CPU that it couldn't store any more bullshit. This was it. Time to face the fact that I have refused for some time now to accept. I'm middle-aged. Only one thing for it. Start a diary. Life is, at times, so absurd that I feel like I'm living in an episode of One Foot in the Grave. But unless it has pages or plays something when it spins, I'm largely uninterested in most of the world these days. YouTube adverts, spam emails, and still incredibly junk mail all vie for my attention. Unemployed people posting on social media all day are now called digital creators or influencers, and there are a suspiciously large number of new charities who are trying in a very generic way to save the children. If I ever want to be assured of an unwelcome knock at the door during a day at home, I can do one of three things: have a shower, go to the toilet, or if I'm feeling particularly reckless, have a sleep. It is absolutely guaranteed every time that someone will mysteriously appear at the front door. Bear in mind that for a good few years I lived alone, and almost all my friends and family at that time were comfortably 15 miles away. Therefore there should have been very few people who came a-knocking. Wrong. Postmen asking me to take parcels in, Jehovah's Witnesses, charity muggers, kids playing knock-a-door-run, and even one random person at 3 a.m. looking for someone they knew called Connor. My favourite of all happened at Easter last year, when I'd just got in after a particularly tiring week and shut my eyes at 6 p.m. hoping for a quick recharge. Incorrect, said the universe, and arranged for someone to swing on the knocker in a particularly vigorous way, just as I'd slipped into dreamland. Are you the Airbnb? For the sake of future historians, Airbnb is or was a curious thing whereby people who have no hospitality experience whatsoever let out spare rooms or properties on the pretense of being a pop-up hotel for the night. From what I can gather, the results are mixed at best, and it's not something I would risk when Premier Inn is available at 59 quid, with breakfast included and bedding that doesn't smell of dog. Needless to say, as I stood there bleary-eyed in my dressing gown, facing a very weary-looking builder who had been directed by his boss to the wrong address, neither of us seemed particularly impressed with the situation. How it happened, I will never know, or indeed care, but life is now filled with a myriad of bizarre events on a daily basis to such an extent that most people would think them the work of a fiction writer. I have therefore decided to write it all down, the bad and the good, and chronicle my life. I may as well do it properly, so I'll start at the beginning. Welcome to the Memoirs of an Englishman. Memoirs of an Englishman is written and read by Ken Moss. Title music is by Murray Gold, and the program was produced by Maverick Productions.